Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well today. In this video, we are going to take a look at gross national product and get an understanding of exactly what it is. All right, now let's take a look at exactly what gross national product is. Gross national product, and of course what we're talking about here is the N there. What is gross national product? Well, the best way of, I think, remembering this, because oftentimes gross national product gets confused with gross domestic product, but gross national product can best be understood if you just think about yourself living outside a country. So if I am from the United States, but I live in Santiago, Chile, and I am a U.S. national, even though I am operating here in Santiago, which is just exactly the same as, say, Nike, which is a U.S. national company that's operating here in Chile. Nike has like 17 shops here, I don't even know, here in Santiago, right? But what nation are they from? They're from the United States. So, gross national product for the United States would take into account all of the income of Nike everywhere in the world, just like if the United States wanted to count up all of the income of its nationals, like me, living everywhere in the world, they would add up my income, even though I'm living in Chile, because I am a U.S. national. And if you understand that, then you're going to have a really clear understanding of what exactly is GNP, even before we get past the first slide. Okay, so formal economic definition of GNP is the total income that is earned by a country's factors of production, firms, regardless of where the assets, the firms, are located in the world. Example, Nike's profits would count for the U.S. GNP, not China's, since a U.S. company actually owns the assets. What does that mean? Nike is a U.S. national company. If they're operating in China and the U.S. is calculating its gross national product, then the income earned by Nike in China is going to count for the United States gross national product. You got that? So, therefore, GNP is equal to GDP, gross domestic product, plus income earned from assets abroad minus income paid to foreign assets operating domestically. What? That just made it all confusing. Wait, I thought I had it understood, and then you said that. Yeah, well, that's how you make the equation. But don't get confused, right? If we are the United States, and we want to count up our gross domestic product, then we would count up all the economic activity happening within our country. That's easy. Gross national product is to add up all the economic activity that's happening or all the income earned by U.S. companies, whether they're located in the United States or outside the United States, which means that you're going to have to subtract. That's where this subtraction comes from. All of the economic activity happening in the United States that is actually being done by firms that are host country nationals from somewhere else, or national corporations from somewhere else, like Mercedes-Benz being from Germany, like Toyota being from Japan, like Adidas being from Germany. You would have to subtract that out of the U.S. GDP, gross domestic product, in order to arrive at the gross national product, okay? So the way that gross national product is calculated sounds confusing, but it's not. You just have to understand that what you're counting. You want to think about all U.S. firms, or whatever country, in this case we're talking about the United States, all U.S. firms and where and how much money they're making regardless of where they're actually located, okay? So income from abroad is simply income earned by firms operating in foreign countries. That's Nike. Net property income from abroad is the difference between income earned from firms operating abroad minus income paid to foreign firms operating domestically. If you diagnose that, that's exactly the same thing as what I just said, right? You're going to calculate GNP by taking the GDP of the United States subtracting out all of the economic activity done by firms that are not U.S. firms, and then add all of the income earned by U.S. firms operating outside the country, and therefore you will have, wait for it, GNP for all U.S. companies operating everywhere in the world, and as a result of that, you're going to have a thorough understanding of gross national product. Okay? You got that? Now, one other simple way of saying that, and I'll just end with this, is look, it makes sense if you are living in the United States and you wanted to count up all of the money earned by U.S. nationals, people who are U.S. citizens. You would count up all of the income earned in the United States, then subtract out all of the money that is earned by people who are not U.S. citizens, right? That would be one part of the equation. Then you would add all of the income earned by people from the United States, nationals, U.S. nationals outside of the United States, like me, who's living in Santiago, Chile. And you would add that together, and you would have the gross national income of U.S. citizens regardless of where they live. And the gross national product is a fancy way of saying gross national income, because it's the same thing. It's the same thing, right? For firms operating all around the world. Well, there you have it, my friends, a thorough understanding of gross national product. I hope that helped you understand how it's different than gross domestic product. Knowing the difference is super critical to your studies of economics. As you know, my name is Brad Cartwright, and on this channel you will find over 300 videos covering the entirety of microeconomics, macroeconomics, international economics, and development economics, which means that this channel is perfect for you if you are an IB, AP, A-level student, or university student anywhere on this beautiful planet. All right, my friends, take care of yourselves out there, be good to one another, and we'll talk to you in a bit.